Hale, I'm CEO and co-founder of Understory Labs. We're a startup for about a year now, and doing some cool stuff that I can definitely get into. So Understory Labs, we are a software hardware platform that generates ground truth data for forest carbon and environmental studies. We use a bunch of different modalities, including Lidar, to sort of understand forests, specifically rainforests and the Amazon. And so that's kind of what we've been doing. We work with a few big organizations, communities, indigenous communities as well. So we have a few different pilots going on right now. We have a background in engineering and sort of putting sensors and systems in space and stuff like that. And so there was a few, obviously, players in this space, mostly not for this application, but for the autonomous vehicle application, which everyone is familiar with. And so we've tested actually a few of the providers quite extensively. We actually started with another provider in the beginning, and slowly sort of moved towards Ouster for various reasons that we can get into. But that was kind of the sort of lay of the land work that we had to do in the beginning when prototyping. We work predominantly in the Amazon rainforest, although we do have some work done in Mexico as well. So we mostly work in Peru and Brazil, and to a degree we're in some potential work in Colombian Amazon as well. But the work that we were doing specifically with the OS132 Rev 6 was we actually had an OS0 32 Rev 6 in the past, and that was good with the large field of view. But when you get into 40 plus meter trees in the depths of the rainforest, you want something more that you can get the full image or view of the canopy. And these are large trees in very dense environments, and so we were really excited to upgrade to the OS1 for the same reason. I know that the OS1 Rev 7 is available as well, but we wanted to kind of test slowly by one. Just to give you more background on what we're doing in Brazil is we are basically, essentially what we do is we do measurements on forests, similar to scientific measurements that people have been doing for, I think, around 100 years now. And so one of the cool things that we did was we went to an area in the central part of Brazil where the Amazon and the sort of dry forest meet, and we sort of used the new Ouster system that we were building on top of to measure trees, measure structure, and measure some other stuff. And at the same time, the science team of University of Brasilia, they were actually doing the same kind of measurements on the spot, and we would sort of compare results. So that was kind of neat to do. So that's a little bit of background of what we've been doing in the past couple weeks. Yeah, this is actually something that we really worked really hard to do, and that is because these are remote areas and you go and you have only one shot, sort of similar to, I was talking to one of my engineers, he's worked in sort of with NASA and International Space Station. You go somewhere, you do sampling, and you come back, that was that one shot. So this is kind of similar. There's a lot of effort to go to these remote places, although very fun. We tend to we try to do all our processing on the spot, in situ, to be able to understand how good of a quality data we get there, and if we do need to go back or just do another run right there. And I was very pleased. This was actually one of the big tests that we wanted to do. Essentially, we wanted to get the full canopy, as I said, 40 plus meters in a very dense vegetation. And with the OS0, it was a little bit tough, and that's kind of this upgrade actually really helped us move towards that, which is seeing not as much noise in those areas, and get a full picture of the canopy and be able to do a lot of analysis and sort of machine learning work on top of that data. Yeah, this is actually a cool story. We were looking to get the OS1 for a little bit, and we knew that it was going to be for this trip. We actually started working with another provider halfway through, and it just didn't feel right. There's some mistakes, and there's some things happening, and I sort of was like, I need to go back and see who are the authorized dealers on this. And to my surprise, you guys really, you moved just as fast as we had done with the other provider, if not faster, and we just managed to, get a very quick quote. Payment stuff with Stripe was just, as developers and engineers, we love that sort of stuff. Quickly being able to make a decision and move forward. And so it was actually, I have to say, honestly, like, the people aspect is kind of missing from a lot of providers in general, not just Lidar, but in general in our business. And I was really pleasantly surprised that it still exists, and really appreciated your awesome support and sort of the human touch to get things done quickly. I think in general, like, we love this intersection of ecology, forest conservation, and very high-tech lasers. Looking forward to working with partners like Dataspeed in terms of building out like a fleet of these in the near future. And I'm happy to report that we have a couple of pilots coming up in other areas that we potentially are partnering with others. So we have just a few of these right now in our spot, because you don't need that many at this point. But we're starting to get asked to provide this sort of platform to others. So I'm really looking forward to working with you folks potentially to kind of amplify the number of sensors we have.